What is good, YouTube? It's Too Fresh with TA Options back with another video, and today we're going to recap my trades from August 27th. You're going to take a look at all three trades that I took this morning, and you're going to see the mistakes I made, how I recovered, and how it ended up playing out. This was definitely not the most perfect trading day, and I definitely made some mistakes, so this will be a good video to learn from those mistakes and not use those in your own personal trading. If you end up liking the video, like it down below, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more videos. So first we have Tesla. Here's what I was looking at Tesla pre-market. Here's the daily chart. We're seeing a nice little trend line here, kind of a little pennant forming, a couple pennants actually here. Just a lot of consolidation in Tesla. Is getting really tight on the price action. We're seeing a really small flag even right here on the daily. Let's zoom in a little bit. A small daily flag, not super apparent, but it's consolidating a little bit after a nice green candle on this day. So I'm just kind of looking at action to see if Tesla can maybe break out of this consolidation phase. On the 1 hour chart, a lot of consolidating right here. We're just ranging in between this like 700 low to 720 high, which that's a pretty large range, but for Tesla, you know, it's volatility. It can move pretty good. So what we were looking at pre-market, here, let me clear out these lines, make it a little bit cleaner. So what we're looking at pre-market on Tesla is to see if we can get a nice jump over the pre-market high and maybe get some momentum into the top of these ranges and maybe get a breakout over it. So we have a 707 pre-market high, which is a whole number. We like that. That's a good setup already. And now all we're looking for is for Tesla to open up close to that level. Now, on a general scale, this trade wasn't super high probability since we're not actually breaking over a high level of resistance. It's more just of a momentum play into a resistance line, which is not super high probability and not the best setup. And you'll get to see in this video why it wasn't a super good setup and what I did wrong. The next stock we were watching in TA Options this morning was CRWD, CrowdStrike. Now this isn't a name that I trade all that often, but it did break a new 52-week high, which is some good news. And then even though it pulled back, the second day engulfed that high, took over, the second candle took over that high and made a new one. So that's pretty strong bullish action, and we were trying to get in on a continuation play. Also note there's really high volume during this time, so that means we could still see some more action and continuation in the future. So on the 1 hour chart, we're seeing a trend line right here, maybe touching the bottom, and we see some nice resistance trend up this way. So we see this nice little trend line right here, and we're maybe kind of getting near the bottom. So if it can maybe reach this pre-market high right here, which happened to also be the same high day of yesterday, then we can maybe see a nice push through that level and a nice trade. And the third and final stock we traded today was AMD. There wasn't anything super special that we were looking at on the daily. Obviously some crazy volume coming in on this bull run right here with some pullback, kind of looking like a flag, not really, coming down to test lows. Nothing super crazy on the daily, and on the hourly nothing either. The only reason why I ended up watching it this morning is on my screen, I watch a certain number of stocks every morning, regardless if they're on the watch list. And AMD was one of those, and I saw right before the market opened, it had a really big push up over to make a new pre-market high. And even though it closed closer to 108, which is below the high, I wanted to see maybe if there's some more action right off the open in the first couple seconds, maybe it can get a run and push over the new pre-market high or this 108.15 level right here. So let's hop right into the trading. The first trade I had was on Tesla. And like I said, we were watching that 707 level, the right side of the screen. I've got 10 contracts of the 710 calls preloaded, waiting for the market to open. Now we're opening a little bit below the 707 level, a little bit lower than what I would personally like. I want to see the 706.50 for that 1 minute or 3 second-ish dip down and rip over to new highs to make a pin bar or an engulfing candle or some type of bullish pattern. But we're opening a little bit low, and it's already not the best setup. 707 isn't even that big of a resistance level that many traders are probably watching. So the likelihood is there won't be a whole ton of volume, and it probably won't push the stock a whole ton. Another thing I'm watching is NVIDIA right here next to it, and you'll see some of the emotion. I'll go through some of the emotions that I was feeling as NVIDIA ripped over the high, and I ended up watching Tesla instead of NVIDIA. And I kind of got a little mad and a little frustrated that I missed NVIDIA's crazy move, which you'll see on the screen right here. But instead, I go over to Tesla and feeling a little FOMO because I missed out on NVIDIA and ended up in just kind of a bad situation and maybe could have handled it better, maybe not. Hindsight, you never really know. So market's about just opened up right here, and Tesla's kind of dancing in this spot. Again, not the perfect setup for what we're looking for, but It does pop up right to the pre-market high, right below it, which is fine, which I ended up getting in just to see if it'll tick back over, but it ends up rejecting and comes straight back down. Meanwhile, Nvidia takes off right through the level that I'm watching, that's 222.50, and I missed it, completely missed it. So as a trader, you want to keep your emotions steady so you can mechanically take the trade as if you were a robot. That would be the best trade. But because I got emotional, got scared I missed Nvidia, now I want Tesla to go really, really bad just to make myself feel better, something like that. So what ends up happening is Nvidia ticks up a little bit again, rejects. I could have gotten out right here just to be safe, and that could have been the better play. But what ended up happening was it ticked back down, created a new low, and I still didn't get out until like a second too late. So it popped through right there, ended up selling my contracts. Again, Nvidia took off. My Tesla got in at the top of this candle, literally rejected immediately, came straight back down. I'm in a bad position. I'm not a perfect trader. No trader is going to be perfect. You're going to have red moves. Ended up losing about 340 on this trade. And again, was super sad that I missed Nvidia, feeling a whole ton of FOMO that I had to sit back in my chair and kind of realize, okay, look, that trade's over. You missed Nvidia. Be done with it and move on. Second trade of the day was AMD. Again, we're watching that pre-market high right there, the 108.35-ish is when it ended up being, and we're still within the first minute of the market open, so 22 seconds in, and as you can see, market opened up and AMD just went straight down. Technically, what we're looking for off the open is just a couple seconds of a downward push, reclaim the high of day, and just explode to the pre-market high. AMD ended up being a perfect setup, but because it's Friday, contracts were super cheap, and I don't know. I was feeling a whole lot of emotion because I missed Nvidia still, and I didn't have a whole ton of contracts loaded on AMD. As you can see, only 25 right here. I thought it would maybe be a little bit more expensive and was kind of panicking, wishing that I had Nvidia gains. So as you'll see right here, AMD started taking off. It was going to create a new high, and that's when I could have gone in a little bit right there. But I ended up seeing it late. You're seeing obviously right there, that dip I was clearly bullish. Other traders saw that thing and they're watching it push right up to pre-market highs. So I'm waiting for that new high of day break, anticipate a little bit. Got 25 contracts filled at 24 cents, just waiting a little bit patiently to see if it'll get to that pre-market high. If it will reject, I got to get out immediately, or I'll wait for the break and take my profits. So it comes right up to a level. I'm watching the level 2, see if there's anything special. Kind of takes off over it a little bit weak, wasn't super decisive. As you can see, came right back down, took out that level again before it ripped back up again. So ended up just taking my profits. It was a 4-cent gain, which at 24 cents, that's kind of a lot. Ended up selling at 28 cents, only 4 cents per contract. At 25, ended up with $100. So it wasn't a super big trade, but it was a little bit to bring me back closer to zero or break even from where I was in the red on Tesla. So the third and final trade of the day was CrowdStrike. So as you saw, we're looking at the 282 CrowdStrike level over the pre-market high. There ended up being another little push a little bit before market open up to about this 281.5 level. That ended up being on the third minute of the day, the high. And so that's kind of what I was watching to see if it would maybe get another push into. I ended up looking at CrowdStrike a little bit late, but that's okay. I end up using a small strategy that I'm kind of implementing just to see if it kind of works. And this kind of ended up working a little bit for me on CrowdStrike. The purpose of this type of trading was to get in with small size. My full size would be 15 contracts, as you can see right here. I want to get in maybe a third, maybe even a quarter size a little bit early, just to kind of see if it'll get up to that level, and then buy at the level where I normally would, just to get a better average, make it a little bit lower, help save myself in case it does end up failing. So what you'll see here is right around this time, I'm using the light speed button right here. This is buy bid 5. So I'm going to buy 5 contracts on the bid at 114. So I'm looking to get filled on 114. Just got down, so I ended up getting filled. I'm sitting there with those 5 contracts, not full size, just to see kind of what it will do. What CrowdStrike ends up doing, takes out that high of that candle right there, and I'm looking to buy my next 10 on another bullish move towards the highs. So we're watching it here. It's, again, just sitting and waiting to get my full size over this level right here. Kind of makes a nice push upwards right there, makes the new high. I'll buy my next 10 to see if it can continue to push over and get up to 282, that real level break. Wait, I'm keeping my eyes right here on this bid and ask spread right here. I know my average is around like 120-ish with these orders. So mid 120s. And so I ended up taking profits right over that 282 push right there for a fill at 173, total gain of $760. So that really saved my day. I had watched NVIDIA go without me, got in Tesla, ended up failing at the level, took the red loss on that one. AMD got a small win back, sitting around negative $250 ish. Then got into CrowdStrike, saw it was a good pattern, took it over the highs, ended up with some gains, and took out green on the day. After all was said and done, I ended up with a $475 green day. Nice gains on a Friday to end the week strong, and hopefully we'll get some better trades next week. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like down below, comment any videos you want to see or any tips you want to learn, and feel free to check us out on Instagram, take a look at our gains down below, and even check out the website. Make sure to share this video with your friends, and I'll catch you on the next one.